Hi everyone, it's Louise with Louise McCarrott, and welcome to our Thursday Night Rock and Pour collaboration. We're so glad you're here, and we hope you're going to enjoy our presentations. So tonight we have me at 6:30, we have Lori Houston Art at 6:45, and then finishing up our night is Angela Bliss at 7 o'clock. So without any further ado, let's get this Rock and Pour night started. Hi everyone, it's Louise with Louise McCarrott, and welcome to my channel. And today I am making a bottom plate for a Lazy Susan that myself and my neighbor up the street, Bruce Reeks, are going in on to make for another neighbor up the road. So this is a custom piece with custom colors, and I'll have all these colors listed in this description. And yeah, so I'm going to be doing my portion here that is going to be the foundational color palette. And on top of that, there's going to be some other things. And I will show you the final put together piece when it's all completely done. But right now, I've just got to get this part done. So I'm going to do a pour on here, and I'm going to do just a bloom. It's a 14 and a half inch metal that I've primed. I'm going to use my Multi-Pro. I'm going to blow it out with my Berta, and we're going to see what we get. I did one test coaster that turned out really cool. Very earthy tones, and this is to match the color palette in their kitchen. So let's get started. I'll be down in a second. Oof, that first moment of laying it down is always a thrill. It's a thrill a minute. Got it. Another chunk. See, I just got to the bottom of the can, so I strained a lot of it, but I'm still seeing pieces in there. Okay, that's probably enough. Let's see what we got. Let's give it a little spin. And I'm a little unhappy with this substrate because it's not exactly flat, which is kind of a problem for me. Tried to flatten it out as much as possible. So I don't know if it's going to give me problems in the end. So I'm going to interject here. This is a 40-minute video, and I'm going to keep in a lot of the laying down the colors, actually all of it, because I cover a lot of good stuff and I show the colors I'm matching to, just like when I was going through my KS resin competitions, having to match color palettes. So I wanted to show you that as I go through it. So all this is going to be on real time, and then when we get past it, I'll be skipping and doing fast speed. All right, let's get some colors down. Let's get this thing blown out. So this is the custom green, and what they gave me was the paint can to their wall color, and that's what this is. I want to put a lot of this green down because I want the green to be the highlight color. Okay, we'll go with that. And this is a coppery color that started out as a rose gold, and I added some copper to it. I want to lay a lot of this down too. There's a lot of copper in this room. And I'm hoping that that green and copper play really good together in this. And now my test tile, the copper kind of was quiet, so I'm going to lay a little extra down. All right, and now I've got this kind of a beigey, just a calm color. It kind of goes with their table runner. I'm not going to put a whole lot of this down because I don't want this to be the star. Just want to have it present, hopefully. I put some pearl, what do you call it? Pearl white in there. Here's the gold. I'm going to put some gold in just for a little flash and bling. These are very, very neutral color palette here. I swear I got just stuff. I don't know why I've got so much junk in here. Yeesh. All right. And then this is the garnet. I don't want to put a whole lot of this down either, because this color is very strong, but I want to have it present. So I want the copper to be more of a star than the garnet. Now the garnet just represents the, in one of the painting, well, it represents a lot of the wood, because there's a lot of wood in this room, and the wood is rather red, and this is the brown that also represents the wood. But the red is also the matting in a picture of a flat globe of the world that I thought would look pretty cool. I thought the red would just play nicely with these other colors, and in the test coaster it did. So we're going to see how it plays together on the bigger piece. And the brown is just the grounding color. And this is mostly the Van Dyke brown by Arteza. I think we'll go with that. Cell activator, I'm going to start with some black first in the middle to contrast against the green. And then I'm going to add the white on top. Give that a mixture. Get some of these bubbles out of here before we get going too far. I'll also link above to the right the cell activator creation video so you can see how I make it in the recipe. Some of that's going to spread out. All right, so looks pretty good. Cell activator, there's my black. And then we've got the white. Let's get the hairdryer going. So everyone, in my usual format, I like to talk through the blow. Now what you're going to see here is where I'm aiming to start that first blow. I'm trying to aim for the back center of the cell activator puddle to start the spread. And then I try to get that same target going all the way around. And now when I'm blowing this out, I'm not blowing it all the way to the edge, as you'll see. I'm just blowing it out, in this case, about halfway, because I'm trusting I have enough pillow paint there that's going to carry the paint and the composition to the edge as I start to spin it out. And sometimes in the larger pieces here, it's hard to gauge how much cell activator put on so that you have enough to spread around. And this is a similar situation as my last video I put out on Tuesday with the clock, where I have too much cell activator and I have to spread it out before I do anything. FYI, I'm going to cut out about a minute of blowing out here. Okay, we'll leave that alone for a minute. This red has got to spread out because I've got way too much red and I need the green to come through. Just pop in some bubbles before I get too far into this. Okay, so let's stretch this a little bit, break up the surface tension. Now I'm breaking the surface tension of the pillow paint, so when I get ready to spin, it'll start to flow. And I'm going to spin really gently and slowly to start with. I don't want to have a lot of paint on this. Big tip here. This shows what happens when you're off center to start with. Off kilter. I want to go very slowly, not that fast. so I got some extra here. Let's spread it around over here. So I'm going to be cutting out some pieces here and there of just getting this composition spread out in the pillow spread. Get some of this extra, put it over here. So I'm going to start going to triple time here. So I'm not spinning that fast for real, but I have to do this to try to cut this video down. And I take probably 20 minutes getting this pillow spread out and very slowly spinning the composition to get it where I want it to lay on this top, and then I work on it from there. But I just want you to realize that I go very slowly trying to get this spun out and working it into the shape I'm wanting it to show up in. So here I'm just adding a little more pillow paint to make sure I can get to the edges without causing any problem with the composition shifting or not wanting to spread. That pillow paint acts like a vehicle to get the composition to spread over the top of it. And here on that side that I want to spread a little bit faster than the others that are already spread out, I just tilt it a little bit to get the paint weight on that side so that as I spin it, it's going to be more likely to push off on that side. So that's one way to get your composition into shape, is by tilting it. Another way is to put it on the spinner so that the part you want to spread is farther outside on the spinner so that the centrifugal force will push it out as well. So now that I have it in the general shape I'm going to want it, I'm going to start playing with it a little bit with a palette knife. And then I'll be spreading it some more, but keeping that in mind as I start to play. So I do like the negative space, but I don't want it to be such a solid, stark piece. So that's why I'm using the palette knife to just pull some color through it. So everyone, I'm going to call this a wrap right here because most of the rest of the video I'm just popping bubbles. So here are the wet results, and this is just a still photo, and then I'm going to do a flyover of the wet results. And this is what I showed my client before I got the green light to keep it. So this is just a close-up flyover. I'm really happy with the lacing, with the cells, with the unique structures of some of these cells. Just so pretty. I tried to provide the thought process I went through in what colors I selected for the room, so what I captured in my eye to what to match for this creation. And here's a photo of the Lazy Susan top up against the room itself. And here is the final flyover of the resined result. If you enjoy the video and not subscribed, please subscribe, hit the bell at all. You'll get all my latest art tutorials. At the very end, I'll have a link to other turntable Lazy Susan creations. And once again, thank you so much for being here. Please leave comments. I'd appreciate it, and a thumbs up would be great too. And now, off to Lori Houston Art.